Your final assignment is going to come from the unit circle, the page right behind it. So if you're in my third and fourth block, it's page 202. If you're in my second block, it's page 143. I'm going to do the odds with you, 1 through 19 odd, and then your assignment is going to be to do the evens. Directions are find the exact value of each trigonometric function, and we're going to do that using your unit circle. To review a little bit, you had in geometry probably this acronym that you memorized, SOHCAHTOA, and it means the sine of some angle, and I'm calling that angle theta. That's the Greek letter theta. Sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if you apply those things to the unit circle, so here's what you've already done. If I go to 30 degrees, and I'm going to create a triangle out of that. And I'll highlight that. So there's my right triangle at 30 degrees. If I need the sine of 30 degrees, opposite is going to be that vertical side that I just drew. And on a graph, that's the y value. So if I need the sine of 30 degrees, and sine is opposite over hypotenuse, I would use the y value divided by the radius, or the hypotenuse. So if you're using a unit circle, sine is going to be y divided by the radius. If you need the cosine, let's look at 30 degrees here. Cosine is adjacent, that would be the x value, over the hypotenuse, which is the r, or the radius. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. So that would be y over x if you're using the unit circle. To do this assignment, all right, number one, the cosine of 4 pi over 3. So you would go to your unit circle and find 4 pi over 3. All right, and it's in the third quadrant. So if you go to 4 pi over 3, and I need the cosine. So I just wrote down that if I'm using my unit circle, the cosine is going to be the x value divided by r. At 4 pi over 3, the x value is -1/2. And the y value, or I'm sorry, the r is 1. So the cosine of 4 pi over 3 is -1/2 over 1, or you could just put -1/2. And I'm going to do the odds. So number 3, the cosine of pi over 4. All right, so you would go to your unit circle and find pi over 4. And cosine is x over r. At pi over 4, the x value is square root of 2 over 2. The r value is 1. Number 5, you need the tangent of 4 pi over 3. Go to your unit circle, find 4 pi over 3. And you're going to write down the y value there divided by the x value. So 4 pi over 3. Here's the y value divided by, here's the x value. Do not worry about simplifying that. That is no big deal. Number 7, the cosine of pi over 6. When you go to pi over 6 on your unit circle and you look up cosine, cosine is x over r. The x value is the square root of 3 over 2. The r value is 1. So number 7 is the square root of 3 over 2. Number 9 is actually the same thing as number 1. I accidentally put the same problem on there twice. So number 9, you can just copy your answer to number 1. The rest of the odds we're going to do are in degrees. Number 11, the cosine of 245 degrees. So when I go to my unit circle, I'm going to find 240 degrees. And cosine is x over r. So x is -1/2, r is 1. Or you can just put -1/2. Number 13, the sine of 330 degrees. Sine is the y value at 330 divided by r. Or again, you could just put -1/2. Number 15, cosine of 300. Go to 300 degrees. At 300 degrees, the x value is 1/2. The r is 1. Number 15, you can just put 1/2. Number 17, go to 180 degrees, and you need the y value, which is 0, over the r value, which is 1. That is the same thing as just 0. And then the last one, go to 180 degrees. Cosine uses x. The x is -1. So you could have -1 over 1, or you can just have -1. So all of your answers to your assignment is the evens 2 through 20. All of your answers will come from the unit circle. And this right here in pink is your guide to hopefully getting 100. Do not simplify anything. Don't worry about that. R is always 1. And take a picture of those evens, send it in to me, and that's the last thing I'm going to take a grade on. I'll post some more things, just, maybe some games or puzzles or something. But I hope each of you is doing well, and look forward to hearing from you.